Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Rod Owens, High Priority Lawn Care. Here are two things that you should not do when pricing your lawn care jobs. Two things you should not do. Now, people are going to have all kinds of things that they do. You can search many YouTube videos, and many different people that have lawn care businesses will tell you many different things. And that's okay. That's their experience, and we all here to share experiences. Nobody is wrong. Nobody has all the answers. We all learn from each other. So I'm going to give you my two things that you should not do when starting a lawn care business. Not starting a lawn care business, but two things you should not do when pricing your lawn care jobs. Number one, don't price your lawn care jobs based on what you heard so-and-so lawn care down the street was charging. Don't do that. Because if you do that, I guarantee you that's a quick way, to end up at the very bottom. That's a quick way to end up at the bottom and have no business. Because if you're in a race with another person in pricing, then you're going to quickly find yourself dropping your price until you no longer are in business. Base your prices off of yourself. My personal advice, don't even go and look for what other people are charging. Don't even worry about what the market is charging. That's my advice. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. You do what you feel comfortable with. Most people go out, they call other companies, try to get information and see what they're doing and all this and that. I don't believe in that. I charge my price because this is what I charge. I set my price based on what I do, the quality of what I do, and what I'm willing to sacrifice or not sacrifice. That's how I make my prices. And I got a reason for why I make my prices the way I do. That's why I say don't base your prices off somebody else. If you base your prices off me, you might not be able to do, you don't understand why I base my prices this way. Because you don't know what I got going on. I may be able to base my prices this way because I'm not going to get into that, but because of other reasons. But if you do that, what I'm doing, then you may not survive in this industry. Some people got other flows of income. They got other ways to make money. And they got other things they've done to make money, so they may not have to solely rely on lawn care. So if you call my company and try to inquire on what we charge, it may not work for you, right? You may find yourself wondering why you're not getting where you need to go because you're looking at my pricing. Don't do that. Don't worry about what another company is charging. Find out what you need to charge. Because the thing about the lawn care industry is not regulated, right? So everybody has their own pricing for what they charge and what they do. So the best thing you can do is charge what you need to charge, find your sweet spot and your pricing, and that's where you stay, right? So number one, never base your prices off what the next person is doing. That's number one. Now here's number two. Number two is this. Number two is never charge according to like the customer not being able to pay for your services unless you really, really want to do that. Because here's what happens. They can talk to you in a way that make you feel like you shouldn't be charging them that much. It's too much. They can't afford it, which is understandable. Sometimes your prices may be too high for some people. And you don't have to budge. You don't have to go with that. You can just say, no, I'm not. This is my price and that's it. And that's fine. But let me tell you something. If you pricing and you decide that you're going to honor that lower price than what you actually charge, do not get mad when that person is telling you they want this, they want that, they want everything, and you already done gave them a lower price for all of that stuff, and then they start dictating all these things they want you to do. Don't get mad at them for that, because that's your decision. So when you're pricing, make sure that when you give them a price, that's the price. Let them decide what they want to do. Because if they guilt trip you, they should. They're going to try to negotiate down, especially when they can't afford it or they think they're paying too much for it. They can negotiate it down. But if you go down on the price, then do not get mad at what they are asking you to do because you decide to lower your prices because you want to be nice and all of that. Nothing wrong with being nice, nothing wrong with doing favors. But remember, the customer is looking out for the best interests of themselves. They're not worried about you. You're the only one worried about you. And if you're worried about picking up this customer and you're gonna lower your price, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying when you do that, it's when they start throwing extra on you, then don't have a problem with it. But if you want to avoid that, then just say, this is my price and stick to it. Most people are going to pay your price. Some will try to negotiate you down, but most people are okay with paying for the services because they value what you're doing. And the people that try to bring you down, it don't mean that much to them what they're asking you to do. Because to them it seems like a simple chore. Because they thinking, well, I used to go out there and do it myself. And they right. They're not wrong for what they're thinking. But what they're not considering is you're not them. This is their yard. You're coming to service their yard. You're sweating on their yard. You are doing everything that they can't do anymore. And they have to understand that. Well, they should understand that they got to pay for that. But they're not. Okay? They're not going to understand it. So anytime you do favors, just remember where you're putting yourself at when you do favors. And remember that pricing is everything, right? So make sure that the prices you give, you willing to stand on that. And sometimes customers try to make you feel guilty for what you charge. So to wrap this up, customers are going to want what they want when they want it. So the best thing you do, stick to your pricing. Stick to your pricing. If you are willing to budge, then that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that when you've done, you feel comfortable with what you've done. That's all I'm asking you to do. And those are the two things that you should not do when charging for lawn care services. Y'all take care.